dredging up the gold, but the place gone black. Left and left it hanging, but the flame turned back. Hey, Miss Thing, who you think you're fooling with that crooked old lie? Thought you was a winning, but you're losing this, losing this
You're living too fast. Everything is in a hurry nowadays. You have no time.
I go places and we clown. We make bad jokes.
I have always seen the wonders of man, but I've never seen the wonders of God. And for me, this is the wonders of God.
These boxes hold videotapes. They're just a few of the thousands that have been shot by Rain Country crews in the last 5 years. Hello, I'm Scott Foster. Welcome to Rain Country. Our first Rain Country program went on the air in September of 1985. We've done a bit of tabulating, and in the last 5 years, we've done more than 280 different stories on our Southeast neighbors. Series producer Randy Burton, videographer Skip Gray, and I have gone through those stories to select some of the best of Rain Country from the first 5 years. Well, because of all of the tapes, it was a bit of work for us to go through all of those stories. And because of that, we decided to begin tonight with some of the Southeasterners we've met while they were at work.
You want to go for this one? You ready? Think that's her? Yeah, he's shaking his head. How'd you do, John? Got her. You got a good spot? Yeah, right in the butt. We're a good spot.
Fish and game researchers tranquilize bears so they can study them. It's a job in the woods that has obvious potential dangers. The main objective of this project is to attach a radio collar to the bear. But since they have the bear, the researchers also take the opportunity to weigh and measure it, place an ear tag, take a temperature reading, pull the smallest tooth to determine age, and take hair and blood samples to analyze mineral and chemical levels.
Their populations have declined dramatically across the continent, where they used to be quite abundant. Today they're probably less than 1% of the original bears in the lower 48, and they occur on about 1% of their original range. So by gathering information now in southeast Alaska, where bears are very abundant and in very healthy populations, we can plan to manage the bears into the future.
Along with bears, the U.S. eagle population also has declined. To help rebuild them, Fish and Game officials from other states come to Alaska to capture eaglets for relocation to places where they used to live.
I try to approach the nest cup very slowly so that as I come up over and they see me, they don't panic and jump back off the nest or anything else. And then I'll often spend quite a few minutes up there just rearranging the sticks and where I want to stand and work, and also that gives them time to get used to me.
The eaglet's almost always back to the far edge of the nest when the climber appears. Using a stick to bring the bird within reach, the young eaglet is grabbed and then gently placed into a bag.
Choose a route down through the trees, which is often fairly difficult because if it's 100 or 120 feet up or something and a lot of branches, you can't see the bottom, and the bottom crew can't see you.
As soon as the specified number of eaglets are captured, they're flown back and then released in the state trying to rebuild its eagle population. There's no particular shortage of deer in Southeast, but researchers do have to go into the woods to learn about the Sitka blacktail. These deer were raised in captivity to become accustomed to humans. Then, when they're released, they aren't as likely to run from researchers. This study is to determine what deer eat.
It takes a few minutes for the animal to adjust to our presence, but once it's over that, it goes about making its living. And making its living consists of eating until it's full, and then lying down and chewing its cud. And of course, we're trailing along behind, measuring everything it's eating and what it's doing, and when it's lying down, just sitting there waiting till it gets up again. The average life of a deer researcher on this island is a rather boring one, of lots of long hours collecting boring data that become exciting once they're in the analysis stage. The research has to go on throughout the year and under some pretty miserable conditions. But over a couple of years, especially people that are doing this every day, are going to have a lot of insight into what it's like to be a deer.
While some go into the woods for research, others go there because that's where their work is. Barney Belk is an A-frame logger. This kind of logging centers on an A-frame anchored just offshore to a floating barge and attached by rigging to a spar tree on a nearby hill. Logs are cut all around the spar tree.
You spend, I don't know, we spend about 35% of the time just working on the rigging. If you could spend 100% of the time logging, you could make more money, but it's just one of them jobs where you don't, it's not like truck logging. I mean, if you could have had a loader there in a truck, you could probably do better, but being it's called A-frame, so we have to do it this way. It's tough, I mean, but I've worked all my life, so I wouldn't know how to take it easy.
Barney obviously likes the woods and the life he's led in them. And what about advice to a young person considering following in Barney's chosen work?
Go to college and get an education and stay out of the woods, but what I tell somebody else and what I do is, you know, a person's got to do what they like, what they want to do, you know. But I believe I'd do it all over again.
Dave Balkema also works in the woods, but in a different way. He supervises summer construction projects in Misty Fjords National Monument.
I really enjoy doing the trails. I enjoy building the shelters. It's aesthetically pleasing. In the wilderness, we don't use any cut timbers. We do all the trails and all the shelters we build out here is all out of native wood. We split our own boards. We'll split our own shakes. Everything's done that way, and to me, it's a real aesthetically pleasing. You know, you put something together to make it look like really that you weren't there.
A different kind of work in the woods is that done by Judy Brakel. She's a wilderness guide.
Well, I want people to have a good time, but I want them to have some really new appreciation of wilderness, what real wilderness is, which some of them have never really seen, real wilderness. They've seen manicured parks, maybe. When you get out on a trip, it doesn't feel like a job anymore. It's really great to just get in the boat finally and just start paddling if it's a kayak trip, or get going. It feels more like life than like a job, right?
From May to October, John Hyde spends half of his time outdoors photographing wildlife and associated human activities for the Alaska Department of Fish and Game. When he isn't lugging video equipment around, he's packing still cameras and accessories. In the office, most of John's time is spent organizing and editing.
Probably the major thing that wildlife photographers have to be aware of when they're in the field are their subjects and their subjects' tolerance for the photographer's presence. And you never want to have your presence involve or jeopardize their safety or their life out there in the wild. They've got it hard enough as it is. And there's a lot of times when you're out in the field and it's real lousy conditions. You have to put up with trying to run a camera and keep all your equipment dry, and in the pouring rain, let's say over on Admiralty Island, and the wind's blowing 30 miles an hour, and it's not the easiest thing to do sometimes, but then there are experiences that you have while you're out there that you'd never have in an office anywhere. And I guess that's the reason why I'm so attracted to this position here and why I enjoy my work here.
Wherever Southeasterners work in the woods, they're never very far away from the waters of the Inside Passage. And it's those waters that many of us use as a highway getaway to fun spots and fishing holes and wilderness adventures. And it's that same road that others use, but instead of getting away from work, that's exactly where they're going.
I might be out anywhere from a day to 15 days with a crew on board. They might be doing soil sampling or a timber inventory in one area, or surveying the national forest boundary around a piece of private property, or building a trail, or rebuilding a trail, or building or rebuilding a cabin. Just about anything that comes up. So after hours, I'll take a skiff and go fishing. That's a big recreational thing after hours for the entire crew, is fishing, and we'll set a crab pot and I'll cook up big crab feed, or we'll have baked halibut for breakfast instead of sausage or bacon, and we get to do things like that. And guys in the evening can go ashore and beachcomb if they want. I offered my wife a choice of me going back to work in town here a couple of years ago, and she said, a little stronger than I'll put it, no, that she'd rather have me gone 5 days a week and home happy too than to have me home 7 days a week and a bear to live with.
Working on the water often means being away from home much of the time. For people with families, that can create problems. Dan Vick from Petersburg is away much of the winter commercial fishing. But to make sure he gets at least a few months a year with his family, he switches jobs in the summer. Instead of catching fish, he buys them on the tender frigid land, and he takes his family with him.
What I like about it is when the kids get older, you see so many kids hanging around downtown during the summer not doing anything, and this way they'll be with us. We're planning on doing this for a long time, and the kids will be with us until they're out of high school and probably going to college or whatever, and this will be their summertime job, and it'll still be a family operation then. You know, it'll be, the kids will be our crew, and we'll all work together, and they'll make their money for college or whatever, and they won't be hanging around the streets or getting in trouble because they'll be with us all summer, and that's what I like about it.
The kids, they don't mind it at all. They kind of like it. Stuart loves it. He likes to be out in the middle of all the action and everything. There's lots of things for them to do, but they don't always think of them on their own, and you have to tell them again, why don't you go color, or why don't you go do this or that?
Why don't you go row your skipper, get your fishing pole and put a hook on and fish off the end of the boat, okay?
Well, Mom, I never catch out of a very special
Well, maybe you better put your life jacket on and go over to Stan's boat and you can catch one. Okay? I'll help you rig it up. No, you just want to sit on my back all day?
Yeah.
Does that mean you love me too much?
Yeah.
I thought so.
If you think of working on the water in Southeast, no doubt the first job that comes to mind is commercial fishing. The attractions to this occupation include independence, the out-of-doors, adventure, and the possibility of making big bucks. And one of the reasons many people decide not to fish is what attracts others to it.
I like the thrill of it, is the main thing. Of when you go out, you never know what's going to happen. You may go out and your boat may break down on the spot, so that's it for 2 weeks. You may go out and you may have a $1,000 day, and you may go out and you might catch nothing. It's a real thrill. It's like getting in a card game every single day that you go fishing.
Sometimes working any job on the water can turn into more of a gamble than a person bargained for.
It scares you to death sometimes. You get out there in a situation where the wind comes up and you're barely holding your own or making headway, and you just hoping everything holds together, that you don't have a engine failure or a tow line failure, and that you can get across there. And it's just one of the bad features that makes you gray before your time, I guess.
When a crisis at sea does arise, it's the job of the men and women of the U.S. Coast Guard to lend a helping hand. Sometimes when the chips are down, that means jumping into the water with you.
Okay, he's moving in. He'll get down to 15 feet. Okay, right now the swimmer's assessing the situation. He's checking the water, checking for any kind of debris. You'll see the flight mech tap him 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now jumps in. He'll come up, give him okay, hopefully. He's giving the sign right now. He's away and okay. That means you let the flight mech know you're okay when you raise your hand. Okay. It's pretty hard to see, as you can, with that rotor wash blowing in your face. That's blowing down about a 90 knot wind. You try to keep the survivor's head above the water. They're moving in right now for a basket. We call this a basket pickup. He'll put her in the basket. Okay, she's ready for pickup. He'll give the signal. Ready for pickup. There she goes on up.
In spite of the risks, spending a lot of time on the water gives mariners something that makes it all worthwhile. It goes beyond a paycheck or high adventure. It's a deep personal connection with nature and the sea.
We see lots. Killer whales and sea otters are just wonderful. There's a sea lion rookery at North Island in one place, and a seal rookery that we pass in another area that we fish here in the passes. And it's fun. It's real helpful with my child on the boat. Keeps him entertained watching all the things that are happening in the water around. The first year that I started fishing by myself, just before I bought the boat that I'm fishing now, I had borrowed one of the local skiffs, and I was fishing with rod and reel out at Soapstone, and a couple of humpback whales leapt out of the water at the end of my fishing pole, threw my boat all up and all around. It was great.
Overall, I guess worldwide population estimates range around 7 to possibly 10,000. Around 5 or 10% of their unexploited population. Humpback whales throughout the world were intensively exploited during this century by both pelagic and shore-based whalers. And the North Pacific was hit particularly hard. Population was reduced from around, there she is again, from around 20,000 to probably less than 1,000 when they came under international protection in 1966. I think there is an aesthetic quality that is hard to deny, that whales do enrich our life. To be able to come out here in Glacier Bay on a day like this, and even to see or hear a whale from 400 yards or a half a mile, from any distance, I think it's an experience that few people forget in their life.
A whale may well be the symbol of our southeast waters. It's hard to imagine a more entertaining sight for those of us who live here, but it's especially entertaining for our visitors. These wildlife displays are just one of the ways that we entertain our visitors. Each of our southeast towns have their own special attractions and their own special way of saying hello.
We are the Shady Ladies of Erangel, Alaska. We work with the Chamber of Commerce. We do promotion for the city of Erangel.
We all have shady names when we're Shady Ladies.
I really enjoy meeting the tourists. People from all over have such great reactions when we're all out there dressed in our feathers and finery that it just makes it so enjoyable. You get to talk to everybody from all different places. And I know they're going to remember Erangel when they leave here just because we're out there.
Welcome to Erangel. Welcome to Erangel.
Hello there.
Come on down.
Join us.
Sometimes you get a little embarrassed, you know. They don't really like to be picked out and, you know, spoken to or flirted with. But others just really seem to like it. We have many of them who want to come in and get in the line with us and get their photographs taken with us so that they can take it home and show their friends on how they were greeted in Erangel.
Skagway is another community that gives visitors an historic welcome. Modern entrepreneurs capitalized on the gold rush of 1898 in a variety of ways. There's a stage production featuring the town's most notorious citizen, Jefferson Randolph Smith, better known as Soapy.
I have a new soap. I have a wonder soap. Here is the finest cleansing agent ever brought forth by man's scientific ingenuity. The fruit of many weary months of research and experiment in my own laboratories. Use the soap upon your skin, and it will glow like the moon. Your face will shine with the radiance of 1,000 candles. Is that bald spot growing, sir? Use my soap, and the patriarchal locks once more will adorn your brow. Is your hair turning gray? Use my soap, and to the silver threads will return the pristine glory of youth.
Just outside of town is a recreation of Skagway's tent city. And to get there, visitors can ride with the Skagway Streetcar Company.
And our tour is basically a premier personalized sightseeing. We've decided we want to be the Gucci of Skagway sightseeing, which may not be the greatest thing that anybody wants to try to rise to being in the world, but we think we can do that. When all three of our automobiles drive together, which is when we have a maximum capacity of 20 people, which is all we can take on one single tour, we have all three automobiles driving down the street like a parade. They're like a motorcade. And there's the 32, and then the 23, and the 27 usually bringing up the rear, and it stops the whole town. Everybody pulls out their cameras and takes pictures. It's like the 4th of July every time we go down the street.
The inspiration for the Skagway Streetcar Company came from records of a business of the same name that operated in the 1920s and 30s. Its owner was one of the earlier entrepreneurs to cash in on the town's tourists.
He ended up doing a lot of odd things in Skagway. He was a hotelier. He tried the coal delivery business. He was a mechanic, very mechanical. He was the undertaker, the authorized Ford dealer in town. I mean, Martin Itchen did everything, but he was probably most well known for the fact that he took and on a 1904 Packard chassis, he put a home-built frame, and he called it the Skagway Streetcar. And he would dress up in a conductor's uniform, the conductor's hat, and he would drive around the streets of Skagway giving a tour of town. And basically the first person who did that in Skagway, and gave as a sightseeing tour perhaps the first sightseeing company tour in Alaska in that respect. Certainly the first tour bus driver we ever had. And Martin used to, with his heavy German accent, would say, "I am the authorized Ford dealer, the undertaker, with all kinds of supplies, and I hope to be the doctor before many years go by. Things in the gold rush days were different. I make honest living now. I drive the Skagway streetcar for my daily chow."
Providing rides for tourists are part of the daily chow in other towns. In Juneau, the ride is over the ice field.
The best way to see Alaska is from a plane, whether it's our tour or another aerial type tour. It gives them the best perspective, and then they can go do some salmon or they can do some rivers or whatever.
We're coming up on two of the first glaciers here.
On cloudy days, tours fly over the southern part of the ice field, where 5 glaciers are visible. They usually fly low enough to sometimes see goats, moose, or bear. On clear days, the tour goes right over the top of the ice field. This Juneau ice field is a remnant of the most recent world cooling trend. It ended about 3,000 years ago. It was called the Little Ice Age. Today, about 100 feet of snow falls annually in the winter at the higher elevations. Eventually, the snow is compressed into ice, and the accumulated weight forces its way down valleys as glaciers. On a helicopter tour, the tourists also get to walk on the glacier, and there are lots of questions.
As soon as they land on the ice, of course they want to take pictures right away, but they always ask how deep the ice is, why is it so blue, are there any wildlife, are there any wild animals up here? People, they just don't know anything about it, and they ask all kinds of questions. It's kind of fun.
It's like a pie.
Look how deep that is.
I know, and it's a slide down there too. Oh, isn't that fantastic? It looks like a vein of a leaf.
Yeah, look at this one. Oh.
Albert, honey, come here and take a picture of this.
That ice that forms the Mendenhall Glacier eventually melts, mixes with rainwater runoff, and together provides another form of excitement.
The funnest ride is right in the very front. That's the wettest ride, too. And I'll take 3 up there, then we'll go 4 in the middle, and then 2 in the back. We're going to be rowing about a mile across this lake to the river that starts over there. This is the Mendenhall Lake. You guys can see the Mendenhall Glacier from here. And behind the Mendenhall Glacier are the Mendenhall Towers.
Well, on this particular trip, it takes about 3.5 hours, and I think that the biggest offering is an opportunity to see the glacier from the water, and also some light rapids in the river. About 5 miles of river and lake that are traversed, only about 3/4 of a mile of which has any rapids in it to speak of.
The excitement of the rapids is soon replaced by the tranquility of the quiet river. Why did you decide to take the raft trip?
Because I have always seen the wonders of man, but I've never seen the wonders of God. And for me, this is the wonders of God.
In the last 5 years of Rain Country, we've gone from Hyder to Whitehorse to Yakutat and a whole bunch of places in between. We've talked to hundreds of different people in almost as many different walks of life. As the Rain Country staff has reviewed all of the stories we've done in this last 5 years, we've found that some of our biggest favorites have involved some of the smallest Southeasterners.
There's something that happens when you mix theater and kids that is like no other discipline, and I find that it does wonders for kids. You talk about the kind of child who gets involved in drama. Are they the outgoing type? Are they the shy, introverted type? I think there's something in it for every kid.
Why are you doing this?
Because I want to. And I was in another play and I really liked it.
I was little, I was in plays, and in 5th grade I did radio production in Annie, and then I signed up for the Willy Wonka, and then I went on to Toy Box.
And where do you want to keep going with acting, with this interest you have? What do you want to do?
I want to be an actor, it's fun.
Tell him some jokes.
I go around with my group to malls and the Senate building and other places, and we clown. We make bad jokes and make funny faces, and make weird noises, and we really cheer people up that are really sad.
These clowns are 4-H students. During the Christmas season, they work on the annual 4-H toy drive. But when that's over, out comes the makeup and the clown faces. It's a way of fundraising, sharing a few smiles, and developing some self-confidence.
When I'm in my clown outfit, I'm not really shy. But when I'm not in it, I'm real shy.
Why are you not so shy when you're in a clown outfit?
Because people don't seem to know me.
Yes, why do you think it's important for you to get over to your shyness?
Because I want to be a lawyer when I grow up.
You want to be what?
A lawyer.
I think the most important thing they've learned is that they can laugh at themselves and they don't have to take themselves seriously. And that allows them the freedom to try new things and to be able to stretch their wings a little more. For a couple of these kids, that will mean that they will be able to dream and fulfill some of those dreams because they were so shy.
Hands here, babes. There she goes. You guys, have you worked?
The Special Horses for Special Kids is another project that helps develop pride through sharing. Juneau 4-H'ers in the Midnight Riders Club decided to give handicapped children the opportunity to go horseback riding.
Are you happy when you ride the horse? Yeah? Do you want to get on now? Yeah?
I sort of like the idea of it, and it seemed like it would be pretty educational. Also, it's sort of neat to teach them. And so you get the experience of teaching kids who don't usually get to do that.
For one thing, you can find more friends, and you can make more friends. And it's just, I don't know, it's funner, I guess.
The thing I saw mostly in the kids was a new area of their lives that they'd never experienced before, helping somebody who needed help. Teaching and sharing the thing that they liked, their horse, with somebody who didn't have one and who didn't know how to work with one.
Yeah, want to hug him? Come on, a big hug. Give him a big hug. Go. Good.
The Southeast landscape provides a variety of experiences for our young people. There are numerous kayaking and camping opportunities.
This is something not everybody gets to do. You know, it's a real special thing, you know, to see the mountains and see seals looking up at you.
Well, I think it's important for everybody to know that there's something out here, that there's a wilderness and there are places that haven't been logged with 5-lane highways through it. But I think it's more important for the people of Alaska to be here because I think they should see their own, where they live and their own environment.
Everything what's on the land have a spirit in them, especially the rocks. There's a spirit in that. Our people don't just play around foolish with everything, like throwing rocks. You have to be careful what you do.
A lot of the young people growing up in Angoon don't get the opportunity to get out like they used to. And so it was a chance to take some of the kids up in the bay, up in Mitchell Bay, and have them learn firsthand what it's like to travel in the wilderness and learn some wilderness ethics. And in addition, have some of the elders come up from the village and tell some of the traditional stories. And there's so many places up here that are important in a cultural sense to the people. And while I don't have that knowledge, the elders do. And so it was just a chance to bring the elders and the children together and have them relay some of the information that I think is so important for the young people to know, so that they know who they are and they know something about the land that is so important to them.
This is the village site of the Sockeye clan, located on the Chilkoot River near Haines. Today it's the site of the Chilkoot Culture Camp. Chief Austin Hammond founded the camp to teach his grandchildren traditional ways of living. With guidance from native elders and camp counselors, young students from all walks of life come to learn the Tlingit culture through a variety of activities.
Today we made drums. Mine isn't done yet. Today I also moved out of the camper. Today we went running half a mile.
Can you believe that? Half a mile. We are going to tell stories. I think Grandpa is going to tell them.
You gotta watch your word, what you're gonna say. So I try to make fun of the loon, that young girl sitting there on that big garden. The loon came up across on the other side. Oh. The girl is smiling. That loon loves me. He's calling on me. His mother pushed him down. Don't say that. It's no good. What they working? She's in the middle. What they working? Lunchtime. Where's the girl? He was sitting here. Disappeared. So that loon came up on this side again, by the lake. The girl's on the back.
In that story, it gives a value of being careful with your words and what you say with your words. There have been other values that have been taught, and that every one of us participate, we all pull together, and that we begin to share with one another, encourage one another in the different areas that we may be working in. We try to allow the students to be able to picture how our ancestors lived in the past.
Yeah, it must have been harder. I guess they did a lot of things by hand. They didn't hardly have modern stuff like we do now.
Like how my ancestors felt about their culture and how they felt about the land.
I like to see your children learn about our land, every one of them, any place where you came from. To ask your father what our grandfather used to do. Tell him to tell you the story.
Telling stories to children is one way of passing on cultures and traditions. Using any of a variety of artistic expressions may accomplish the same thing and also be entertaining. Wherever our Rain Country cameras have gone in Southeast in the last 5 years, we found a rich artistic tradition. But different artists may express their feelings in different forms. Many of them share Southeast as their common inspiration.
That what I'm trying to accomplish a lot of times is try to get some of the old examples and copy them and try to create from what I see. I just love to work with my hands, and sometimes even the frustration of doing something that really doesn't work out too well. Sometimes that can be frustrating, but if you have enough patience and know your tools and know what you're working with, usually you can be able to accomplish, what you set out to do.
The Eskimo dolls that I make are caricatures of the real people, and it's acceptable and pleasing to the tourists because it's like a little symbol of Alaska. Everybody likes to believe that we have snow houses and nothing but ice and snow up here, and they take back a tiny little doll that doesn't cost an arm and a leg and it's well made. They're happy. They're happy with the clean-looking dolls.
And what is really encouraging is that I've been teaching for so many years, and now finally there are some young people really interested, and their children are learning it. That's very encouraging. I work as an accountant, and I made a lot of money, and it was really fun to do. It helped my children, reach maturity where I could support them in a way that I wanted to support them. But now I'm doing basketry. It's not really, I don't make a lot of money, but I think it's very self-satisfying. I love to walk in the woods, and I think that harvesting in the woods and being able to see the forest the way my ancestors saw it gives me a feeling of continuity with these people who came before me, and I have a real strong feeling of self and identity with my own people.
I think that I would like everyone to somehow have exposure to a culture other than their own. If my culture is African or black, then maybe I need to be exposed to the Mexican culture or the Portuguese culture or India or China. And I think I would be most happy if I knew that children especially were going to grow up with an understanding that there's something else out there, and just this taste of intrigue of wanting to find out what that is. Too good!
Theater's very civilizing. You have to sit for 2 hours and listen to someone else talk and think. So I think stories are very important because they help with ongoing traditions and understanding of other races, other religions. You have the potential to be able to celebrate people's differences instead of feeling as if it's something that you want to shut yourself off from. I think we're dying for superstitions or myths or traditions anyway, whether we're in the theater or whether we're in everyday life. We're really looking for that. Because I think we need to find meaning, and we need to figure out the way in which the world is. We want ideas to hang on to. We want traditions to hang on to. I think that's one major element which theater can provide, which is the telling of the stories.
A poem is any writer's attempt to enable somebody else to see something clearly. If I can help any reader to see any one subject, event, or experience even a little bit more clearly or from a somewhat different perspective, I have succeeded as a poet, and I am very pleased. And the Lupin poem is a good example because it was something that I had looked at over and over and yet suddenly saw in a flash of illumination or a moment of epiphany. Lupins stand bunched by the highway, hitchhiking, but summer does not look back.
My father-in-law is Jimmy George Sr., and he's recognized as the head of the Killer Whale clan in southeast Alaska. And my mother-in-law is a very powerful woman leader here in the community, Lydia George. And their influence has been really strong on me. They're real supportive of me, and they're full of stories and all kinds of things that inspire, you know. And so my whole surrounding here makes me produce what I do with a Tlingit orientation. For me, just to draw a picture of a bear isn't enough. It's got to be more powerful than that. To do just plain wildlife paintings and for me to say this is my statement about how I feel about the environment isn't strong enough.
I really enjoyed what Audubon was doing with his birds and his mammals, and that he was really into cataloging them and really into looking at them and really studying them and had a real love for them. But the punk kind of side of me wants to just really take those concerns, but then to turn them on their head or to play with them or to do something really, you know, kind of sly with it.
Often that means adding phrases to the images. Some of the combinations have become cult hits around Southeast. Spawn till you die, rock and roll, or humpies from hell.
It's like the ideas haven't really stopped yet. They keep coming. One idea spawns another idea, you know.
Swim 100 miles, I always love to travel. I'd go 1,000 more if I could get you in the gravel. My love is strong, honey. You know it is.
And when my number is up and it's time to meet my maker, I'll be spawning up in heaven with Jim and Tammy Baker up in the sky, honey. In the great beyond. Spawn, spawn, spawn till you die, baby. Spawn, spawn, spawn till you die, yeah. Well, spawn, spawn. till you die.
Fish are responsible for a lot of different things, and perhaps one of the byproducts is sparking the imagination in art, music, and stories about the one that got away. Trying to bring home a fish instead of a story is just one of the special pursuits by Southeasterners after their day's work is done.
How big? I'm guessing about 16, 17. We get this guy from Butte, Montana with us. I think he's a jinx. Yeah, we've got 3 silvers. Nice fish. About 14 pound was a big one.
You know, are there any secrets, anything you can do to kind of increase your odds for either for catching a prize winner?
Not that I know of. I've been pumping all my friends for information.
Well, how's it going?
Great, wonderful.
How many have you got?
3.
What's the secret?
I don't give my secrets away.
Fishing is perhaps one of the favorite getaways we have. The water isn't very far away, and when the boats get crowded and the lines get tangled, there's always another waterway to take.
It's just away from town. There's no phones. There's lots of places to go fishing. There's lots of beautiful scenery up here. Lots of river running. River running kind of gets on a guy's blood.
To me, this seems pretty narrow, and you're going pretty fast. Is it dangerous?
Oh, not that dangerous. Every now and then we run into the woods. The biggest danger is if there's somebody else up here and they're coming down while we're going up. And you're always thinking about who's around that next corner there.
When that beaver dam comes, you didn't slow down a bit.
That's how you get over them. You can't get, you just have to go wide open. So you just go wide open, and it doesn't really hurt. They say, well, they're all dented to pieces and they all leak, but that's why they leak. We run over logs, we run over all kinds of things, going moose hunting or going fishing or stuff like that.
But what happens when you've got people in the boat and they see that beaver dam coming and you're not slowing down?
Well, a lot of times they just dive in the bottom of the boat.
Riverboaters like Jerry Adams enjoy the occasional bumps a beaver dam provides, but other Southeasterners take their bumps in different ways. In the barony of Erengeld, or Juneau if you prefer, somewhere in the Principality of Oertha, known in these modern times as Alaska, which is located in the Kingdom of the West, these medieval activities are common sights. Under the sponsorship of the local chapter of the Society for Creative Anachronism, these events recreate the romance and glamour of the Middle Ages. It's a creative way to escape from the 20th century.
A lot of people have real high-tech jobs. Medieval life was real high touch. You made everything by hand. You worked with your hands. All of this stuff is made locally, made by the people wearing it, and there's just a real joy of getting out and working with steel, working with leather, working with real stuff, and then having a chance to use it the way it was used.
The armor is built to be as authentic as possible. A little modern technology in the form of duct tape and foam padding helps make it a relatively safe sport. Marshals make sure that safety rules are followed, but there are no referees. Fighters are on their honor to declare when they've been mortally wounded. This medieval-style combat isn't easy. Blows are delivered at full force and full contact. The armor weighs between 40 and 100 pounds. The weapons are weighted like medieval weapons, but they can't deliver a cutting blow. And although the fighters usually don't suffer serious injuries, they do get bruises all the time. Helmets, shields, and swords were the tools of this contest. In Sitka, The tools are axes and saws, and the contest is the All-Alaska Logging Championships. Competitors come from all over the world and have varying levels of skill.
These guys, Lentz and some of them, Jackson and Larson, they do this full time. They do shows every weekend down in the Northwest down there, and they spend 2 or 3 months every year down in Australia. And so it's real tough to compete against those guys. The other guys are professional loggers. They work in the woods, and so I don't get to do that. I run my restaurant and come home at night and practice a little bit on a few events. I held my own in some sawing events today, but trying to get over that big log there is pretty tough for me. I'm out here to have fun, enjoy it, and I don't think the people come to watch you quit in the middle of it if things don't go right. So I keep plugging away till I make it.
I've been falling off for 5 years in a row before my wife made this for me. And since then I've been able to stay on pretty good, so it's a good luck shirt.
He's no good. Porky can beat Leo. Wait a minute, Dave. Just hold off on that tree climbing there for just a second. Burns?
Yeah, we got a grudge match, huh?
We're going to have a little grudge match here. How about that?
But sometimes you need something more than a good luck shirt.
Ready, set, go! Hey, just a minute!
Wait a minute! Leo, come on, Leo. Porky's going to beat you.
No.
Go, Porky, go!
Up! Ah!
We just pull a lot of tricks on one another once in a while and everything, you know, and just a lot of fun we have, you know, along with the work. It makes a pleasure out of it.
And we've tried to make a pleasure out of this review of 5 years of Rain Country stories. Looking at all of these tapes has brought back a lot of memories for those of us who have had the distinct pleasure to meet so many interesting people in so many different places. And now in our last few minutes of this special Rain Country, we'd like to bring you a few of the people that have helped make Rain Country special.
You can go out in the woods and build yourself a cabin. Nobody said anything about it. You go out fish or kill a deer or fish, who cares? You know, well, living like that, you see, that's freedom. Well, when you lose that, then start going by the laws. You can only do this and this and that. Well, you know, it's not the same.
As we stand here in memory of those men and women that built this community, I was thinking back of how they did it, how they built this community. There was a long rope, and there's about 20 or 30 strong men lined up, pulling those stumps out by hand, clearing the town, the place where what we're enjoying now. And you know how they did it? They pulled together. Every single one of those strong men, that line was real straight. And they all give every ounce of strength they had. They pulled together, and in no time they got that stump out. Now there's a lot of things besides pulling stumps that we need to pull from this town that will make it a better community. And you know what's lacking? We never pull together. So today, I hope that you will be, each and every one of you will think, take a survey of yourselves. What have I done to keep this town in the kind of a town that was handed down to us?
There is an odd saying nowadays, you've come a long way, baby. And many of these people here in Alaska have come a lot longer way, baby, than we have in learning about them. They have had to, and we didn't make ourselves learn about them so much. And I have been interested in that.
In fact, a lot of these old cars, like that one, the first car that was transfer, Bergey's transfer, well, I still think it belongs to them. It doesn't belong to me. It's here in my place, but they come by and like to look at that. In fact, I've said that this junkyard, everybody in Wrangell's got an interest in it. I feel that it isn't my junkyard. Anybody that's given me stuff, why, they come back and if they need it, well, I'll give it to them. I feel that they have an interest in this. I think if I sold out, I'd be letting the people down. Well, I've probably got a different philosophy in life than a lot of people have. Destiny put me in the junk business when I couldn't get a job. That's what I think destiny is. You haven't got anything to say about it. It's just the circumstances put you there where at the right place, at the right time. Anybody that tries to buck that is a failure in life, for sure. I don't consider myself a failure, even if I am in the junk business.
You're living too fast. Everything is in a hurry nowadays. You have no time for leisure. We've lost all that what the Europeans have, so-called after you eat, then you have a rest of a couple hours, or when they eat slowly, couple hours, have a little drink with it, never drink without eating, and that a tempered life, that's all. Don't overdo anything, even sex.
And those are just some of our Southeast friends and neighbors that have made it possible for us to have 5 years of Rain Country stories to tell. And we'll be back to tell some more next week at the same time. I'm Scott Foster. Thank you.